Hey everybody, it is Kit here. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to the Brooks Legacy Generation 3. We're with Marin Brooks and today is going to be exciting for a couple of reasons. One of which is Blaz is here for a visit and it's the first time in a long time that she has seen her brother. Literally, she hasn't seen him since he was a child. And he hasn't seen her since she was a teenager. And now she's pregnant. And he's a young adult. And he's going into college. And yay! And honestly, I probably should put this one on Wednesday. Because I think chronologically speaking, it makes more sense if I put Blaz on Tuesday. But I'm not going to do that. Because in my head, I don't know. Eldest, youngest makes more sense. I don't know. It'll all work out, right? Um, yeah, and then the other reason that is exciting, I will let y'all find out. Um, Also, this is probably going to be a bit of a longer video because I could either do two short videos or one decently-ish long one because I want to get Blaz's part, like all, the visit all in one video. And then I only have like 15 or 16 screenshots for afterwards. And I'm fairly certain that's still in summer. I think. Probably. And if not, we're gonna pretend. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a longer video, but hopefully a good one and a rewarding one to watch. So yes, I hope you guys enjoy it, and we will dive right in. And yeah, I hope y'all are having a good day. Panda had changed so much. Marin's baby brother was so tall now. He was not the skinny little kid she remembered. Panda had muscles and was taller than her, it seemed like. But despite all of the changes, he was still her baby brother. Marin had been worried about Star and the kittens and their reactions, but she needn't have worried. They were not only chill with the newcomer to the house, but also pretty much ignored him, unless he had catnip. But look at how happy they were with their new cat condo and toys, and, a whole house. But back to Panda. Marin was so proud of him. The Sim Space program? University in the fall? He was doing so well, quite clearly. They spent a lot of time catching up, and Blaz happily told her all about the others in his program, including one special sounding girl that he talked to every day on the phone, Blake. And Panda was so excited about his little niece or nephew. He took time to help them with the home renovations, despite Marin trying to tell him to relax. It was his vacation. Mar, when am I going to have the opportunity to flex my skills and help my sister build a whole frickin' house? This is so fun. Panda was so dang cheerful. No one should be that cheerful with a face full of a brand new fireplace. And home renovations indeed. Truth be told, Marin was so grateful for Panda's help because this pregnancy was kicking her butt. The little baby was soon on its way, and the house needed to get done. Or, at least more livable than it currently was. But Marin was so, so happy. She positively glowed happiness. She thought she might feel super guilty upon seeing Blaz again, but there was nothing but relief, a lot of tears, and a piece of her inside mending. Honestly, Marin should have reached out to him ages ago. But that was in the past. And what was important was Panda was here now in the present, and they could stride together to the future. Panda had also talked to Marin about the family. He told her his suspicions about Kesa not doing super good, and that it was possibly some form of addiction. Oscar, with his mysterious internship in a lab somewhere, how exciting. And Zyla being left alone without her brothers, and the word through the family grapevine, named Oscar, was that Zai and her dad weren't doing really well. Teenager angst, probably. Blaz was also stupidly thrilled to see Marin and her conservation get up and to hear about her job. Honestly, he was stupidly thrilled at every single mundane thing, which Marin found hilarious but also endearing. She had missed him and his endless enthusiasm. Despite being super exhausted and against Atoni's concerns, Marin made sure to visit the Mohos after work. Atoni's family meant a lot to her, and Atoni also needed to see his family, in particular his mom. Marin was also excited to introduce her brother to them. My baby! Noia cried. How's life on the other side of the tides? How's my dear new daughter-to-be and grandbaby? What's her brother like? Did the rest of her family come? Atoni was drowning in the questions. Mama! No, it's just her brother, and Blaz is very nice. It's been a good visit. The house is coming along. Marin is doing okay. She's really tired, but she won't rest, Mama. How do I get her to rest? Noe smiled and sighed. Sometimes we women need to nest before the baby comes. She will rest, my boy, soon. Just keep doing all you can, and you'll see. Now, where's this Blaz? I want to meet him. And all Tony had to do was take his mama's advice, because his fiancée did in fact rest. And no one dared to wake her up, because this very expectant mama was tired and needed that rest. Panda also found a way to rest in the tranquility of the ocean. The Mohos were very welcoming and kind, but also very enthusiastic. They matched him perfectly. But he didn't want to intrude too much into the family visit, and honestly, he saw why Marin liked this place. It was very peaceful. The Moho family visit was nice, as it always was. But, oh boy, did the Mohos need a proper living room. Of course, where would the fun be in that? Marin's beach shack wasn't so shack-like anymore. It was feeling like a proper home. Soon, there was going to be the little pitter-patter of feet waddling around, and the walls were going to be filled with happy laughter and high-pitched giggles. Marin had never really seen herself as a parent, but she was so excited for this baby. She was looking forward to the next steps in her life. Having her brother here also made this place feel more complete. Sulani was her new home, and the Mohos were her family. But so were the Brooks. And Panda was healing that part of her in ways she hadn't quite expected. Maybe it was time. Maybe it was Sulani. Maybe it was true love and the unexpected magic that she had found within. But Marin had changed from that angry, resentful teenager who felt misunderstood and pressured by a looming family shadow. Marin had changed, and so had Panda. So much time had passed. She hadn't seen any of her family in ages, and that was because of choices she had made. That was where the regret was sprouting now. But she could change that. It had been a tiny bit of an awkward conversation, but Marin had asked about their mom and dad, aunt and uncle. They all were doing okay, apparently, as much as they could be. They all still searched for Marin. Their Uncle Andy had never stopped trying to find her. Their dad was struggling with the voices. The voices in his head spoke about her and weren't very nice. Aunt Lisa still did an announcement at her shows about her missing niece. As for their mom, she still slept in Marin's room. That knowledge weighed heavier than the baby did in Marin's stomach. She felt horrible about it all, still. She shouldn't have run off like she did. But it was the past, and Marin couldn't change it. There was only the future that she could change. And change it she would, because Marin had decided she hadn't known her grandmother very well. Marin had only met a ghostly version of her once upon a time. Blaz hadn't gotten to meet Grandma Eden at all. Marin didn't want that for her baby. She wanted this little babe to know both sides of the family. And Marin also wanted to see them again. It was terrifying, and the thought made her nauseous. But that was the self-loathing and regret. It was a process of healing. But Marin wasn't the same girl who would run off. Marin had a home, friends. Despite all of her choices, she had a good career. A home she had built with her 2 hands, a loving fiancé, and a little baby. Soon, Marin had Oaks. She had made her own life, away from the Brooks shadow. But she was still Brooks. Now, she just had to bridge the two, somehow. And she was going to find a way. But as for the actual visit, well, Marin had pulled a sneaky move. She had swiped her baby brother's phone when he wasn't looking, had gotten Blake's number, called her, and paid for the loading screen ticket for a visit. Look at the two of them making a sandcastle and talking. Aren't they adorable? Tony and Marin left Blake and Blaz to talk at the house while they went for their nightly swim. Neither of them had told Blaz yet about the whole mermaid thing. And maybe that was not something that should be shared just yet, honestly. Marin was still getting used to it herself, and Blaz didn't seem to see anything out of the ordinary yet. Maybe the veil thingy worked more on Blaz than it did on Marin? And that was okay, Marin supposed. It would protect him, right? Marin and Tony also had some dolphins that came for a visit sometimes. Marin loved this gray one especially. She named it Duffy. Why Duffy? Because it was the first name that came to mind. Duh. The kittens were also getting so big. They roughhoused often. And soon they would be growing up. Star still loved on them though, like a good mama. Blaz joked about taking one of them with him to university, and Marin only shook her head. Maybe as a graduation present, but you have to study, silly. Something that made Marin simply happy was being able to make food for her brother. It was the simple things, you know? She even thought about making Panda some birthday cakes to celebrate the birthday she had missed out with him, but nah, that would be too much, right? All that mattered was Panda was here now, and it was a good, long visit. But it was also way too dang short, and Marin felt their days together slipping by so fast. And I think this is actually going to be uh, where I end it, because I've been working on this video for a good bit, and I still have a good amount of pictures left, and I'm making the executive decision that I would rather this be out on time instead of me trying to stay up way further than I should be. And I just looked, and Blaz has a good amount of pictures too, because yes. So you know what? Nah, we're gonna pick quality over quantity. I thought I could do both, but I can't, and that's okay. So yeah, we're gonna pause it right there. And what I will say is that next time, Marin is gonna have her baby, which is super exciting. So yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it wasn't like the best, like not lots of dialogue or stuff like that. I think I took it was interesting, right? 'Cause like I have to split the pictures between the siblings and stuff. And also, I can't find some of my original posts, and yeah, so I'm just kind of making do with what I have, which is, yeah. But yeah, so that is that, and tomorrow might be more dialogue. I don't know. I'll get it sorted. But yeah, no, they had plenty of fun, and it was just a really good visit overall. And Blaze has definitely gone back, by the way. So, yep, yep, yep. But anyways, thank y'all so very much for listening and watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it. It makes me so happy to see Blaze there in Sulani and just all of the progress Marin has made. Like it's crazy how rewarding a rags to riches challenge can be. But not just that, like her personal journey as well. It's just so good, and I love that she and has a Tony. She's gonna have a baby, and the mohos and everything, and it's just I love it. It's good, and I'm very happy. So yeah, but anyways, yeah. So tomorrow will be Blaze, and I'm just gonna cut half of his pictures as well, and it might be a bit of a weird stopping point, like Marin, but it's okay. We'll deal. And then what I might do, because I was gonna do Zayala next week, but I might just do Marin and Blaze again, and then that way they're done, and then do 1 or 2 episodes with Zayala, and then after that we're into fall, which is uncharted territory filled with I took pictures, but I didn't post. This is gonna be fun. Have a great rest of your day, you guys, and thank y'all again so very much for watching. I appreciate every one of you. And don't forget, where the water's slow, like seas grow. Bye!